No, I don't know what these lawyers who refuse to join the whole process of writing this constitution have. It was carpenters and businessmen like me who wrote this constitution. When we are talking, we should keep quiet. I can't talk. You know, Samson, you are asking the question about the human rights. Are you going to adjudicate your rights or enforce it in public through a press conference? I don't see how.
She says he has filed a human rights case.
I should file it and let go and deal with it at that case. The only point at which that gets materiality and impact and effect is in court. So I don't know what this entire thing was about. This attempt to prosecute the matter or adjudicate the matter in the court of public opinion is rather an act of indiscretion and unfortunate.
Is it because it is her? Are there no cases that are in court that we discuss all the time
I agree.
Here?
It is because it is her. And not her in her person, but her office or the office she held for which she's actually being held accountable. You are Chief Justice. You should understand the law much better than anybody, not relatively, but you should understand the basics of it. The provisions about this being in camera are very express. They are not ambiguous, where you can't understand the impact and the relevance of it. Your human rights must be protected at all times. The Constitution actually requires that that is done by everybody. So you being able to enforce that or demand its enforcement is right. But we also make an assumption in the conversation that human rights have really been violated. And I take her own speech, and let's go through them. You mentioned them 6, right? These violations, she talked first of all about her counsel. Me, I don't even understand why out of policy courtesy, for the office that you hold, your first hearing, you refuse to be there. I don't know her reasons. If you refuse to be there, you should be able to formally notify the commission or the body that is the inquisitorial body that's looking into this matter, who your representation is. You don't, and somebody just shows up, and you expect them to necessarily just admit them and assume that that person necessarily represents you. And you are Chief Justice. Remember that. You are just a suspended Chief Justice. We currently have an acting Chief Justice, but she is still Chief Justice. Again, it is unfortunate when she tries to paint the picture that this entire inquisitorial body has been that adversarial on the account of this. In her own submissions, she admits that her lawyer was allowed to stay, the purported lawyer was allowed to sit present. I think that the court had every single reason, the committee had every single reason to dismiss the person from the entire process because it's supposed to be in camera. We don't know your locus here. And if this is supposed to be in camera and private, why do we entertain you here?
The fact that they entertain him and refuse to recognize him, does it not defeat the purpose of not recognizing him?
Let me give you some information. Let me give you some information.
No, your time.
I'm giving you some information. I'm giving you a piece of information that will guide you.
Let him give the information.
This same lawyer who was not recognized had exchanged correspondence with the committee. And they have even served him hearing notice for that sitting that day. So how can the same person come before you? You say you don't recognize him. You have exchanged correspondence with him. You have served him. No, please, Senior Hassan. Please. Let the facts please. They have exchanged correspondence.
Did the committee subsequently allow Kusi to speak?
But I'm saying
yes, he did. Even subsequently, after the initial this thing, he subsequently.
But did you know this information?
To them.
Did you have this information?
Yes, subsequently he did.
But I'm saying that they had exchanged correspondence with him. So he was not a stranger to that place.
No, but I'm saying
and they served him.
Notwithstanding the initial
hearing notice.
The initial concern by the
So he was there because the committee had
invited him.
Wait.
And the person comes, you say you don't recognize him.
Wait.
Because your principal is not present.
Hassan, please pay attention to me. So they issued a hearing notice.
Yes.
To the respondent or to the lawyer for the respondent?
The respondent.
Wait.
You see, the committee has served hearing notice on the council before the hearing.
So let's be clear about it.
Yes.
Do we know for a fact that the committee would issue a hearing notice for their first sitting
exactly
on a lawyer rather than the respondent.
You see, prior to the hearing notice, there had been correspondence.
Okay.
So there have been some established relationship, and they know for their records that this is counsel to the Chief Justice.
You know,
and then by reason of that, they served him hearing notice.
Okay.
How does a person
point made.
So please modify.
I don't agree.
No, he's not
I'm not modifying that.
This is his turn. Let him speak.
That's a narrative. That's a narrative he's bringing. None of
you doubt me?
It's not that you also
No. But subsequently, even the committee members allow the lawyer to speak.
I'm taking the woman's own words.
No. We are dealing with the first.
Can I finish?
Yes, the first meeting he spoke.
Can I finish?
You were subsequently.
Gentlemen, can we allow?
Please.
I cannot speak to the fact as to whether there was correspondence or not. It doesn't make sense to me that at your first meeting, you've not brought your lawyer. You yourself, you don't attend, and you just expect absolute cases being extended to you in that fashion. I don't think it was proper. I think it was quite irresponsible on the part of Torkornoo. No, it was irresponsible. It was irresponsible. I agree. I don't have any apologies for that. No, that's your opinion. I don't. I'm not moderating anything. I'm not. I think that it was irresponsible on her part. She should set the right standard.
Please, let's not.
I'm sorry. I'm not you. I'm not denigrating.
Moderate, please. Hassan.
The fact that you even agree that even me sitting here and saying that her conduct was irresponsible. Her conduct of not formally introducing her counsel is irresponsible. That alone should tell you the consensus you should be having around the in-camera series.
To the effect that you may not have the full facts.
Yes.
Really?
Even though some may say, if this is how it happened as Hassan is putting it, then it should have been part of her statement. But you may not know what may have happened. So to say that she was irresponsible on the part. Don't repeat that, please. Don't.
Please.
Don't repeat that.
I have no apologies. I have no withdrawals on it. I repeat, I'm relying on her submissions. If she had formally introduced that lawyer, she would have said it. And she should have said it. And if she also didn't inform us, that again is inappropriate on her part. You don't share information in a certain fashion to try and shape public opinion without being pure about your submissions as well.
Can you move on from that point?
Yes, I'll move on. So I don't see the point. Again, let's go forward. Do we have a situation where her lawyers have not been granted hearing in the process? Subsequent to that, there's no evidence anywhere. And it's a very unfortunate situation because you've put the entire committee in a boxing ring and you tie their hands. And you alone are throwing punches. I repeat, it is irresponsible. The fact that you have the right to speak does not necessarily mean, just like I said the last time when I was here, that while the Bible in 1 Corinthians 10, 23 or so, while all things are permissible, not all things are beneficial nor constructive. When you hold a certain position in society, there's a certain level of discretion that is expected of you. She hasn't exercised it right. Go to the next one. The committee failure
level
to
of
indicate
discretion to be exercised by somebody because she holds a high position. That person has come under threat of harm if she doesn't resign. That person is pointing to you that even within the public domain, you are all been pointing to this is like a hatchet job. It's been planned long before now. That person says, you are taking me to a venue where my uncle, when I was in school, who was taking care of me, there was a plan to murder my uncle, and the planning happened at this place.
And I was there.
And you are dramatizing me.
Hold on.
In this circumstance, I want to come into this place with my husband to give me some support. You would deny my husband the opportunity. You search my bag. CJ, you said she's still CJ.
CJ?
Her bag, handbag. Yeah. Why?
Okay, now let me finish. So you allow me to continue. Now you talk about a committee failure to indicate the specific allegations in respect of which a prima facie case has been established, as well as the reasons for same, to enable me to determine my legal rights or adequately prepare a defense to the charges against me. I'm very concerned about this. On the face of it, I said, okay, if there was a merit in any of these charges, she should know exactly which one she is answering. But then I asked myself again, who did the prima facie? It was the Council of State and His Excellency the President. Then you set up a committee. Are you now going to take your reasoning and put that before this committee to prejudice their own assessment and evaluation of the process, that creates a legitimate concern. I think that if the prima facie has been done by a different body, and not that same court or that same body is going to actually sit on the case, the new group must be allowed to freely act. We'll be the same people at this table trying to suggest that His Excellency the President and the Council of State were trying to shepherd the thoughts of this entire committee, which is supposed to do an independent job. Independent of the thoughts.
Her question is this. This is her concern. This is her concern. She goes to the committee. She says, "Where is the petition?" They say, "We won't give you. We know that President has given you."
That's not what I'm reading. Please, I don't want you to make.
No. Hold on. Please let me do this.
Yeah.
She gave her response together with evidence. She says, "I want to see what you have because I'm before you." They say, "We know you give it. So what?" She's saying that after the prima facie was done, let's say there were 100 complaints. The prima facie may have dismissed 10 or 50. So tell me that these are the 50 left. Again. And that is what we are brought here to answer. But don't tell me to come and do the whole thing. That's a problem. You don't understand that.
Hear me, Samson. I'm saying one thing, you are saying a different thing, but I'll answer yours. But let me finish mine. I'm talking about the prima facie. She being privy to the reasons why it was established, I think to be prejudicial to the activities of the committee. If the two of you have taken a decision, you've evaluated something, and I'm supposed to independently look at it, I should hear the case freely. I shouldn't now be guided by your own decisions, which will now influence mine. I have a problem with that. Now, to your particular question, I agree with you. I heard there very clearly when she said she cannot confirm whether what she has is exactly what the committee has. You are dealing in the space of politics. She has every reason to be concerned, and I support her fully. I don't think that if that is true, the conduct of the committee is necessarily optimal. But unfortunately, we are again fighting a committee in a boxing ring with their hands tied to their back. Number 3, she says that the committee did to permit 2 of the petitioners not to testify to enable me cross-examine them on their petitions. I think that matter has been flogged. So I take these first 3 things. I don't see where the human rights matter as we speak. As the process continues, I don't see where the human rights matter is. Number 4, a denial of an opportunity to be in the hearing room with my husband or a close family member. This is an in-camera process. It is clearly defined as an in-camera process.
And the 2 shall be one.
The 2 shall not be one in court. That's why when I am held guilty on something, my wife won't follow me into prison. If she goes, I will walk her to the place. I'll cry for her. I'll defend her, do anything, but I cannot replace her in prison. It will never happen.
Small courtesy. Can't we make a little exception of the rule?
I mean, if the committee wants to do that, the first thing is, would they be in breach of 1468? I think that will be an absolute breach of 1468. That is in mind.
Kessie demands a breach of the Constitution.
You cannot do that.
The understanding?
You see, that's why I actually have a problem with the committee.
No, Senior, is that the understanding?
No, I have a problem with the committee.
Senior Hansen.
Hold on. I have a problem with the committee.
You see, there's a fundamental misunderstanding of this in-camera hearing.
You allow me to do my thing.
Senyo will finish his submission soon. Please allow him. Right.
I have a problem with the committee, especially on the very first issue she raised. If you did not recognize the lawyer, why did you keep the lawyer there?
Oh, I thought you had moved on from that.
It comes back to the in-camera matter that I was trying to cite, all right? But in this process, you have to draw the Chinese walls. You are not here in your person. You are here because of an office, a public office you held. That's supposed to be protected. We must realize that there's a value in that process. The process of this in-camera structure is not designed just to protect Torkornoo.
Why not?
It is designed to protect the entire process, including the petitioners, including those who are also sitting on the case, for clarity and objectivity in their decision making. When you have cameras on you, there's a conduct, there's a way you do your things. Because you are now evaluating judgment by a public. This matter is too sensitive because we are dealing with a group of people whose office we deliberately and willfully protect for our own good as a country. So if they are supposed to be shifted, we must also maintain the dignity and honor of that office. That is a decision that we carpenters and businessmen, not you lawyers, decided to sit down and draft in our constitution.
Okay.
We are not inside. The last one.
You are in pain.
I have to finish it. Yeah.
He's not going to forgive the lawyers for boycotting the process.
He's so upset with the lawyers.
No, these people, they refuse to. They have to come and apologize before we forgive him. The last one, the sixth one. The conduct of the hearings in a Torkornoo high security zone. Right. Listen, high security zone on Castle Drive, also, when all Article 146 proceedings since 1993, blah, blah, blah. Did you see the video of her going to court? When she was going to, she had filed something at Supreme Court. I don't think I want to be seeing that of my Chief Justice going there every day to answer a matter like this. I think that it's an honorable thing to actually keep this process in the
You seem to love her more than
look, it is not about her. It is about the integrity and the image of that office. Look at the way everybody is running around you. There's a certain dignity we must maintain, irrespective of the fact that we are calling on accountability for the office. You talk about this place.
She should shut up. She should shut up. Even when, for that protection, things are being done wrongly.
I haven't said that. Where is the wrong? That is these submissions I've made is supposed to put the question: where is the wrong?
Okay.
This particular facility, Edu Lodge, first of all, it's not a security zone. It's a facility owned by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And look at what Akufo-Addo, who appointed her, said when he commissioned and refurbished the place as a presidential lodge. As a presidential lodge, that's the class that you have. I don't think that the CJ is being fair to the process. She's not also being fair to us as Ghanaians. I think that we should spend a lot more time debating and questioning the case that has been leveled against her, the merit of it. But when you go through all this process, tell me, where is the human right abuse that you've gone to a place that is not considered
her uncle? There was a planning of a murder of her uncle, and that
it is not true. Go and read this. The what you call the
isn't this traumatizing? She says she believes that this was set up. This was set up to make her feel the hate.
Why did Akufo-Addo, who made us put up the bust for these three judges? He, Akufo-Addo, who made us put the bust, found reason to renovate that place and commission it. And these were his words. He says that today, as we reflect on this exceptional project, we celebrate not only the physical edifice before us, but also the values and legacy of a man who dedicated his life to public service and diplomacy. Why is she not talking about the fact that this is a place that is dedicated to public service?
Thank you. So, yes,
you say, Senior,
what kind of punishment is this? This is traumatizing.
There's no trauma here.
When this thing happened,
my brother is suffering with this.
Thank you. Hold on.